Okay, I want to do something basic that covers all of math and all of finances, really. That's why I titled this 10 Quick Ways to Get Rich so that people would come. But yeah, I get how you're annoyed. It's really 10 easy tips to do well in any test. I can teach anyone calculus and get them to an 80, even a 90%. But the secret is not math skills or brains, it's time. And it's something we all mismanage. So if you look at the views of my calculus videos, which are pretty horrible, I admit, I'm going to redo each and every one of them when I have time. But this is very much what a gym attendance is like after New Year's. Everybody has great intentions and they watch these things diligently and then they eventually realize, oh my God, this is a lot of work. And they give up. And it's true, when faced with a daunting task in a short period of time, just about every human being gives up. But you have two things being young on your favor. Even if you fail, it doesn't matter, you should try again. And then the next time you should apply this concept. Study early, study less. That's right, study early, study less. That's because when you cram, you are actually having to do 3 or 4 times as much studying as you would if you'd studied early. So in reality, when you go out and have fun, which is normal for any teenager, young person, middle-aged adult, early adult, everybody, you are actually mortgaging the future, and the time you're taking here to study 24 hours here, total, could easily be broken down into 15-minute sessions over a long period of days. And you might say, well, that's the same as, 96 days. Not really. Because when you cram, your brain is a great big colander. And in a topic like calculus, the holes get bigger the less you sleep and the more you study, and the information falls out and you have to study much more to cram. So in reality, not only are you losing out on your studying time, you're losing out on the fun time. You could study 15 minutes a day, 30 minutes at first, and then eventually 15 minutes a day, and you will be able to have more fun later on because you will have spent less time studying. Now, here's the other thing is, realize what real study is. What real study is. So for calculus, that's problem solving. That's not reading the book, and that's not watching videos. It's application. And that is because calculus is not like studying history. It's not memorization. It is more like languages and music. And that's down to technique. The more you practice your technique, the better you will be. It's just like sports. But sports, you have no problem getting up and going out and practicing, do you? Stretching before a run, you do without thinking. All these things you learn in sports and music and languages, and for some reason, people don't apply them to math. Because math can be dry, and I don't blame you. But all you're doing is torturing yourself, convincing yourself you aren't capable of learning, and you are. Regardless of how well or how poorly you do in class, realize it isn't your brains, it is often your technique. And this technique especially can be applied in university. All of these techniques can be applied throughout your life, including finances. If you learn how to save $15 a day instead of trying to save $2,000 at the end of the year, you will get much richer this way. Yes, you have to sacrifice a Starbucks coffee along the way, here or there, but you will then be at age 50 with lots more money than you would have been in Starbucks coffees. And a lot of people don't realize that. When you're spending a Starbucks coffee, you're actually costing yourself 5,000 Starbucks coffees in the future. So, the day after the very first class, not the day after, the day of, that should read, the day of the first class, open the textbook, page through it, see how many chapters there are, how many sections per chapter. So, this calculus, I believe there's 9 chapters, and there's 5 sections per chapter, so that's 45 sections to study. You cannot study that in 45 days. It's impossible. 1 section per week, 45 weeks might be a good thing, but you might be in a rush year like the pandemic year and have to do, 2-3 sections a day. If you wait 1 week, you have to double your time to study those sections now. Now it's a rush. Now you feel stress. Now your brain doesn't work as well. Brain does not work well under stress or lack of sleep. So open your textbook right on. Measure it out. Read it out of the handout. See when the tests are coming up. Mark down key items on a calendar that you can see. I'm all for electronics, but they're no good if you can't see them and remind yourself. Second, have a workstation. I can't emphasize this enough. If you are in a tough family situation where people are talking a lot in your house, get yourself some noise-canceling headphones. Well worth the investment. Turn on some soft music or some, upbeat music that keeps you moving, but not music that will distract. Then sit at your workstation means work. Turn off your phone, shut down your social media, get your body associated with that workstation, get work associated with that workstation. Yeah, these are old tips. It doesn't work. I've tried them. It doesn't work. No, you haven't really. And here's another tip I want all of you to apply from now on. Honesty with yourself. We're all used to conning parents, whoever. Yeah, I worked. I did it. Be honest with yourself. You will be happy you are. We all know we tell ourselves little lies about how much we've done, or, I worked really hard because I cracked open the textbook. No. In math, reading will not do it. Yeah, you'll have to read the textbook to get the concept if you didn't understand your teacher. Guess what? You live in the information age where you are so lucky. Tools like Desmos, tools like, I think it's called GeoLab, and there's another one that's great, Symbolab. Fantastic. Symbolab will show you step-by-steps of how to solve a thing. Desmos is fantastic because you can verify your answers quickly and understand the concepts much faster. Use your tools. So get your tools going, use them, start doing that. Okay, so number 3, 15 minutes of morning work is worth 45 minutes at night. What do I mean? The brain works best when alert. That 15 minutes you spend in the morning is the same as 45 minutes that you're hunching over your textbook. And again, once you've watched the videos on how to do it, the 15 minutes of work is problem solving. Do the problems. You will learn so much fast. Matter of fact, skip all the stuff. Skip everything. Go straight to the review section at the end of the chapter and start with 1. If you can do it, great. Verify that you can do it with the answers in the book. Then 2. Then 3. Once you hit something you can't do, go into the textbook. They always have great examples. Or watch a quick video on YouTube if your teacher's terrible. I've been there. They are bad even in university. I've had teachers you cannot understand all throughout university. They get paid. You get marked. So that 15 minutes you spend in the morning is saving you 30 minutes at night. The brain works at best alert. Do it 30 minutes at first. Then come down to 15. 30 minutes of problem solving. Have food. The brain works on food. It's an engine. You don't run your car without gas. Sleep. That extra proper sleep is worth it. Wake up early, study. The old adage, early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. And A+ is very true. Study 15 minutes every day. Start with 30. Then you'll find your techniques improve. You can get away with that. But 30 at first. Instead of 24 hours before the test, this 15 minutes is like 48 hours before the test because you're not stressed. Your brain can't hold 20 concepts in 10 days. It's impossible. That's why I go back to here. How badly you do in class is not because of your brains, it's because of your technique. I can get anybody an 80% in calculus. I say it again, I can get anyone an 80% in calculus if you give me the person soon enough. So parents, this is true too. Parents, you're suckers. You believe your kids. They have learned to lie to you effectively for 20 years. If there was a job in lying to your parents, your kids would be Bill Gates. Study 50 minutes every day, but you can study less once you get these habits going, including this one above, okay? You will be able to find, after 6 months of learning this, you will be able to study less and gain more. Work on your basics, especially math. If you don't have your basics down, spend time before any of this stuff on your basics. Your first 3 days, get your basics. Before every section, there's a basic techniques. You need those basic techniques. And that's why math is like a pyramid. The stuff you learn in grade 9 is needed in grade 10. The stuff you learn in grade 10 is needed in grade 11. The functions class you did in 11 is needed in grade 12 functions. And the stuff you did in functions at the very end are all that you will definitely need for calculus, including your parent functions and instantaneous velocity. Focus, learn those. It's all a building block. The more you get this down, the easier this is to study, because otherwise you got to spend all your time on years you neglected. You're paying an ultimate price, and this is the human nature. We wait, it becomes too late, and then we do badly, and we say, I'm no good at this. Not true. You're no good at technique. Sleep the night before a test, regardless of your current ability. Sleep the night before. If you get 7 hours sleep, you're losing 5% on a test. If you get 6 hours sleep, you're losing 10% on the test. If you get 5 hours sleep, you're losing 20%. Wait, why did that double? Because that missing sleep, it really makes your brain full of holes in the colander. You get 4 hours of sleep, you're costing yourself 30% to 40%. Why bother? Don't. Just sleep. It's better to do badly on the test with lots of sleep, because you will lose way more from sleep deprivation because you won't be able to focus. And the day of, eat, regardless of your stomach. Eat. It's important. Your brain works on fuel. Test stress is normal. Everybody has it. The more you prepare, the less you will be stressed, but everybody has test stress. Work on some breathing exercises. Spend 5 minutes Googling. It'll save you tons of time. That 5 minutes on a YouTube video about breathing techniques. Breathe in and out 10 times deep with your eyes closed. Find your quiet space. Bring noise-canceling headphones to your test. Let those kids laugh. You'll be hiring them for their job when you own the company. Do whatever it takes, but work on breathing techniques. Read all your questions through once, at least once, maybe twice, and circle the ones that you know you can do. Do those first, because your brain is working on the harder questions while you're doing that. Plus, as you solve the easy ones, your brain relaxes and makes the harder ones easier as well. And believe me, you'll have aha moments. And the more you prep, the more this test is easy. And if anything, if you squeeze all this stuff in, throw yourself in a stress situation before the test. Set a clock, a timer, 60 minutes. Do a test review at the back of the chapter, of any chapter. See how many you get. Do it again next chapter. See how many you get. Push yourself like this. This is what Marines do. They crawl in open fields with machine guns firing and people screaming at them in cold water and muddy and sometimes drowning, so that then when they're shot at, they can make decisions under stress. So if you do these tips, you are going to save about 20% increase in your marks. Sometimes a bit less. Some kids already have this down, but especially the early studying. I can get anybody an 80%. That is anybody. But not if they're weak on their basics, and not if they haven't followed these tips, and not if their idea of studying is watching videos. Studying is problem solving for math. It's like sports. You have to kick the soccer ball. You have to do the slap shot. You have to. Don't kid yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Work on your basic rules, especially things like your power rules, your log rules, your exponent rules, your rules of negative numbers, your fractionary exponents, your negative exponents. Work on your basic handwriting. Oh, that's another great tip. When you're solving something in a test, do it properly. This writing is not clear, but it's clear enough. And this example is not a real example. Next line, whatever you do, just show one thing. I'm going to move the 7 over. I'm going to keep the equal sign underneath it. Now I got 3 plus b, even though it's not writing. Then I'm going to do something else. Let's say I'm going to move the b over. Plus 3 minus 7 minus b equals. And then it's just 3. And then I'm going to keep doing that with the equal sign over top of each other with the final conclusion. The final velocity is so-and-so. And get your units, meters per second. It's in the question. Read your question carefully. Get your units. Do this, and you will spot errors and get extra marks. But if you just do this line and get straight to the answer, your teacher's going to mark you wrong on this, wrong on technique, and you're going to get the minimal amount of marks. This is true. It's true for everything. It's true for life. It's true for learning anything. You can learn a language by studying it 10 minutes a day for the next 365 days. But I cannot teach you Japanese the night before. Good luck.